Thank you, Brother President. Greetings, Chairman Sauter, Board of Trustees, faculty, friends, and family. But most of all, congratulations to the class of 2012. I hope you can appreciate what a thrill it is to be standing here. I'm absolutely honored. Thank you for letting me be part of your big day. Because today really is about you, your achievements, your determination, the blood, sweat, and personal commitment you put into the time required, the hours spent, the textbooks studied, the papers due, the exams taken, the juggling of family and life demands, the how in the world did I make it all happen? And you did. I am positive that each of you could ignite this stage with a story of your personal journey to the successful achievement you're celebrating today, and what lessons we all could learn. Because the pursuit of graduate and doctoral studies catapults one into a higher level of drive, commitment, determination, and challenges, you decided to set your sights on an entirely new level of personal performance. Be it living your passion, seeking advancement, changing careers, or the pursuit of wealth. Whatever the reason, let me assure you, today, as you walk across this stage with your degree in hand, you are more than prepared to claim any and all of the above, because you had grander dreams and aspirations, and together with Salle University, you made it a reality. As you know, a Lasallian education is founded on three major principles. First, the primacy of teaching and learning. And from your years spent here at LaSalle, you can all attest to this. Second, the significance of the individual. Where else can you find professors like these who know and care so much about each and every individual student? And third, the importance of practical education, what it really takes to make it. Today, I'd like to take a few moments to augment your already richly established practical education by sharing with you some hands-on lessons that I've learned out in the real world. Since this is a formal commencement speech for such an accomplished group of postgrads, one might expect that after 20 years of my Catholic education, I would wow you with a profound Latin quote and proceed with some very highbrow jargon to accompany it. Sorry, not my style. Remember, I sell broccoli and green beans. But seriously, our lives are not highbrow. Life is authentic. Life is here and now, and as our collegiate foundation tells us, to be lived in a practical, purposeful way. Hopefully, you may hear something in my personal learnings that resonates with you, that may make a positive difference in your life's journey at some point, making our few moments spent together time well spent. So let's get started as I share with you some of the practical things I've learned in my life so far. I was the daughter of an Acme truck driver. Through his connections, I was lucky enough to get a part-time job as a cashier when I was in high school. The purpose? To earn money for my college education. Getting a college education was a given in my family. All 5 kids were going to college. It was not if you go to college, it was when you go to college. And I was lucky enough to get the job at Acme because jobs in the supermarket business were not easy to get back then. You really had to know somebody, and fortunately, I did. Thus, practical lesson number 1, network. I was fortunate enough to learn this at a very early age. You never know what connection will get you your dream job or opportunity. And of course, the reciprocal is true. How good it feels to open the doors for others. So remember, don't ever be afraid to speak up or use a connection and ask for what you want. What's the worst anyone can say to you? I entered the grocery business a timid teenager, but soon discovered a myriad of pleasures in the work. The immediate positive reinforcement for a job well done, the tremendous socialization opportunities which laid the foundation for lifelong friendships, the joys of delighting customers with superior service, and how time just flew by. I continued my part-time employment the entire 4 years as an undergrad here at LaSalle, and I loved every minute of it. I could challenge myself to learn new areas of the operation and find better and faster ways to do what I was assigned. I pushed for more responsibility and got it, and strove to make a meaningful difference every day. I never called out sick or showed up late because I actually felt that business would not run if I didn't show up when I was supposed to be. I had found my passion. So practical lesson number 2, find your passion and you will never work a day in your life. Find the thing that when you're doing it, you never look at the clock because you love what you're doing and time just flies by. To this day, I still don't wear a watch, and I've never worked a day in my life. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been a lot of long and challenging days when I haven't worked a day in my life, but you know what I mean. I became more and more entrenched in the supermarket business despite the fact that there wasn't a single management person in the entire company who looked like me. But I knew I had to find a way to break in and become part of the management team. Now remember, as I told you, getting a college degree was the driving force behind both of my parents, and I wholeheartedly agreed. But at the same time I decided I was going to break into supermarket management, I was well into my 3rd year as a special education major. I loved the major, I loved the professors, but I loved the grocery business even more. And then I also knew that this master plan of mine meant a scary conversation needed to transpire with my dad. I remember standing in front of him and I took a deep breath and I said, "Dad, I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be an Acme manager." Now remember, I'm talking to a truck driver who worked for the company, who knew there had never been a woman in management in the entire history of the company. And what do you think he said? He said, "Judy, you can be anything you want to be." Practical lesson number 3. Practical lesson number 3, find that someone who really believes in you. A dad, a mom, a relative, a sibling, a teacher, a boss, a coworker, a wonderful husband like I have. Hi, Bob. And you will not fail. When my dad spoke those 7 words to me, I knew nothing or anything or anybody could ever stand in the way of my attaining my dream. And yes, by sheer determination, I was able to get my foot in the door of Acme Management. And when I walked across this stage with my BA from LaSalle, I had been signed on as a management trainee at Acme. Armed with my degree and a full-time job, I knew, as my dad had promised, I could be whatever I wanted to be. As a matter of fact, true story, that very day we graduated, I told my husband, "One day I'm going to be president of Acme Markets." Practical lesson number 4, dream big and commit to your goals and you will achieve them. And once you set your long-term goals, say yes to every opportunity that presents itself. Also, write down your goals. It's a sound way of cementing your commitment to yourself, and it works. I don't have a bucket list. I have a live it list. Imagine this. Last year, a fellow trustee, Joe Frick, a former CEO of Blue Cross, was telling me he had just given the university commencement speech, and he was absolutely beaming about what a tremendous experience it had been. When he finished, I thought to myself, I never even thought about that. How great would that be to give a commencement speech? That night, I added it to my live it list, and I didn't tell a soul. 2 weeks later, I received a call from Salle University offering me this opportunity. Absolute true story. Write down your goals. Be sure to revise your live it list. It's amazing the places it will take you and the things you will achieve as you become anything you want to be. Now, just so you know, there's a great deal of hard work that has to take place between becoming a management trainee and becoming a CEO. Luckily, that's the other thing my parents and my education gave me, a very solid work ethic. I'm often troubled when I hear people blaming the bad economy for their inability to get meaningful employment. MBAs in the audience, you know, you've studied the U.S. economic trends in the last 100 years. We've had many ugly economic times. The year I graduated from college, our country was in the throes of a horrible recession. So let me assure you, I didn't walk into a Monday through Friday white-collar job. The day I began my retail career, I went to work on night crew, stocking shelves, in order to get my full-time job in this trainee position. It was something that others refused to do. But I took it, and I used it to my advantage. I learned the business from the ground up and concentrated on being the best stocker I could be. And believe me, focusing on being the best at the job you have will always move you upward and onward. Practical lesson number 5, don't ever be afraid of hard work and starting at the bottom to get where you want to be. Just as you have all demonstrated by the superior performance and hard work that put you in the position to attain your dream today. Stay focused. Remember, you're going to write it down on your live it list, so you'll get there. Just always concentrate on delivering your personal best. But what about adversity, you ask? Yep, it's out there, it's ugly, and it's waiting for you. Even though you are shielded with your advanced degree, there's no stopping it. It's just how you handle it, what you do or don't let it do to you. And I've had my share, and here's what I know. Practical lesson number 6, don't get even, get better. I remember one particularly awful time when through a merger and acquisition, a new president came to the company who didn't know me from Adam, and he didn't want to know me from Adam. He just wanted his guy in my position, and I was in a really big position, second in command in the company. I was offered another executive position, but of lesser standing. Now, I had a couple of options. I could have quit, but who would have that hurt but myself? You never succeed if you try to bite off your nose to spite your face. I could have sulked and turned into a poisonous, negative employee. Again, who would that have hurt but me? Or I could have done what I did. I made up my mind that I was going to prove how qualified and valuable I was. I decided right then and there that I was not going to do anything to get even with them. I was going to use all of my skills and energies to get better, to be their biggest supporter, and to make them as successful as possible. I would not let a negative thought take up any space in my brain. I needed that room for more important things, using everything in my power to get even better, to make them successful. And guess what? It paid off. Within 3 months, I was asked to return to that position. And 9 months after that, I was promoted to president of Albertsons in the Rocky Mountain Division by the gentleman I had used all my energies to support and make successful, because he was promoted to the big job in corporate. So don't ever get even, get better. And finally, what we're here to celebrate today, getting a good education. Today we celebrate the formal completion of your postgraduate work. Congratulations again. It was a long journey, and today you reap your reward. I began my journey for my postgrad degree right after undergrad, but timing didn't work. More job responsibility, family, business travel, lots of detours. But I always knew I would complete it. It was on my live it list. The opportunity to do so came in 2005 when I came back to the area to be president of Acme Markets. I knew the time had come, and what a great experience it was. The professors, the students, the subject matter, and mental challenges. I even experienced my study abroad that I had passed up in undergrad due to my part-time job at Acme. See, it all works out in the end, thanks to the wonderful professors and administrator here at LaSalle. Thank you. I recall one MBA class in particular as I put forth my final practical lessons learned. It was a customer relation management course, CRM, acronym heaven, taught by Professor Nacera. We had a case study using the acronym ABC, always be closing. And as I close, I'd like to change the acronym to ABL. Practical lesson number 7, ABL, always be learning. It doesn't stop with the degree attainment today. Look at every opportunity with the lifelong love of learning that was instilled in you by these hallowed halls. You never know where or how the learning will appear. Just remember, we are all born with an expiration date, so I say there's plenty of time to sleep when we are 6 feet under. Don't let a single opportunity pass you by. ABL, always be learning, always be living, always be loving, and you will always be whatever you want to be. Thank you.